How do inputs become outputs? You may have guessed it, a program. But what makes up a program? Well, there are many things, but one of the most important aspects of a program are the functions that it contains. As you've read in the title of this video, today we're going to cover functions in programming on a conceptual level. For some brief context, this is the first in a series of videos where I will be teaching you how to program an Arduino microcontroller, though today you will not need to have Arduino IDE installed in your computer. In chronological order, we will initially focus on attaining a conceptual understanding of programming operations, and then we will learn how to apply that knowledge with proper syntax, and by the end of this series, you will be able to write your very own Arduino programs. With that out of the way, let's get started by first asking, what even are functions? Functions are modules or sections of code designed for a specific purpose or task. Simply put, they're essentially a mini program that's in a program. To better understand this, let's look at an example. As you hopefully know, whether it be digital or analog, a clock ticks indefinitely. Time is always augmenting throughout the day, forever adding a second and then resetting after 24 hours. If you were to write a program modeling the behavior of a clock, I'm sure you recognize that it would be a hassle to manually add on each and every second that occurs throughout the day. This is precisely why we have functions. When we need to perform an action multiple times in a program, we use functions in programming. Therefore, with more specificity, functions allow you to perform a series of operations repeatedly without the hassle of writing them out all over again. For the clock example, a declared function could add the value of 1 to the timer count followed by a delay of 1,000 milliseconds. Then, the function could be called in a loop that would repeat a given number of times, thereby allowing you to avoid the hassle of writing out each individual second. Not that you would ever contemplate doing that to model a clock anyway, but the idea still holds true. Programming without functions can be cumbersome, which leads me to the various benefits of using functions in your programs. For one, functions help you to stay organized. Instead of one giant block of code, functions allow you to operate in modules of code, thereby allowing you to test various aspects of your program separately. For this reason, it's a lot easier to conceptualize a program that contains functions versus one that doesn't. But along the same lines, functions are written separate from the main body of code, which makes debugging a lot easier, as you will come to observe in later videos and when you start writing your own programs. Thirdly, because sections of code as functions can be performed and called many times, the whole program will be smaller and less cumbersome. But lastly, if you ever need to recycle a piece of code, functions make it really easy to remember what each aspect of the program was responsible for, simplifying future programs and making it easier to copy aspects of code. If you found this video at all helpful, please let me know in the comments below and give this video a like. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. You can always change your mind later if you're not liking the content. But once again, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Tech in 5 Minutes, and I'll be back next time to talk about commands in programming.